would like to call this meeting of the City Council of the City of Palm Beach Gardens to order. Would you all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you don't mind, if you could please remain standing, if able, while we take a moment of silence to honor the lives lost at the Florida State University, and also for Tim Froling, a longtime volunteer of our city's PBGYAA, and a big part of the Amanda Buckley Foundation, who passed away suddenly on April 11th. Thank you.
Will the city clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Tinsley,
Here.
Vice Mayor Middleton,
Here.
Councilmember Reed,
Here.
Councilmember Primoroso,
Here.
Councilmember Kemp,
Here.
Mayor Faraday Leone.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Parents, would you like to take a picture? We can all stand up. I know that Kumra took some pictures, but I know you wanted to take a picture. If you don't mind, we can all just stand here so Mom and Dad can take a photo. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause for our amazing mayor. Thank you all. Okay. Patty, do we have any additions, deletions, modifications?
Yes, ma'am, you have a deletion. The ADM sheet is in front of you to read into the record, please.
Okay. Thank you. Cressy recognition, due to a scheduling conflict, the presentation has been deleted from the agenda. No further or future date has been set. Presentations and announcements. First, we have the tourism update and master plan by Sergio Piedra, Senior Director of Community Engagement and Advocacy for Discovery the Palm Beaches. Thank you. Welcome.
Okay, Mayor, members of the council, city staff, it is good once again to bring our tourism roadshow back to Palm Beach Gardens. We came a long time ago now, about a year plus, to kind of give you an update of what's happened in Palm Beach Gardens, but also an update on our master plan. So it'll be a very quick presentation, but if you have any questions or you want to talk about it a little bit further, we're happy to do that at any time in the future. So let me bring on my colleague, Gustav, to get things going, but we appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for having us back here. I'm Gustav Weibel. I'm the Senior Vice President of Research at Discover the Palm Beaches. I'm going to give you a quick update on the stats that are specific to Palm Beach Gardens. So as we reported last year in the 2023 numbers, we have 2024 on here. You see a slight decrease in here, but I want to point out that the last 3 years, it looks like that Palm Beach Gardens is around 500,000 visitors there pretty consistently, and there's a couple of reasons for that. I would say, and that's with basically the tourism product in there. This is the list of hotels that we track performance of, about 1,800 rooms in the city of Palm Beach Gardens, and it has been quite a few years since a new hotel has been opened in the city. while in that last 3 years, there's been 6 hotels that have opened in the county, in Palm Beach County. It's about a 2% increase in hotel rooms. And this is how that set of hotels have performed over the last couple of years, about 72% occupancy, a slight increase, selling just over 460,000 room nights. And what I want to add with these room nights in here, our sales and team that sells primarily conventions and to a number of these hotels in Palm Beach Gardens, about 10% of those room nights sold are associated with contracts that our organization has put together from groups and meetings. We do a resident sentiment study every year, and we carve out not just Palm Beach County, but where residents will reside. So with Palm Beach Gardens here, on there you can see that they fall mostly in line with the general Palm Beach County resident, a little bit lower, but still very high sentiment in there, near 70% in there. But I wanted to call out the support for tourism promotion in there, 73%, which is higher than the average Palm Beach County resident in there. And I suspect that's due to seeing that level of tourism being pretty consistent throughout the years, and there you may want some increase in their visitation. We also look at what do we contribute in terms of not just on sale from the sales side with groups and meetings, but how our marketing performs in the marketplace. And through these studies, we associate 2 million room nights in the Palm Beach County that touch either our sales team or some of our advertising and promotional efforts in there. And that generates $31 million in bed taxes. And as you're probably aware, that there is some legislation out there that is looking at eliminating the bed tax, so at least for the use of promotion in there. So I want to call out there, so what would happen based on these results if we cease to exist as an organization? There would be about a 20% drop in visitation, a third of hotel bed tax collections would be drop, and then we'd have about a 5% decrease in the overall economy in there. So that would definitely put Palm Beach County into recession terms. Now, this isn't an immediate effect. There was a study done for the state of Colorado in the 90s when they eliminated their tourism promotion in there, and it took about 2 to 3 years to see this effect take place in the economy. So now with that, I'm going to hand it over to our CEO, Milton Segarra, to talk about the Tourism Master Plan.
Good afternoon, Mayor. Thank you so much, council members. It's a pleasure to be here. Milton Segarra, President and CEO of Discover the Palm Beaches. The numbers in total for the county is 9.9 million visitors, pretty much $10.5 billion in economic impact. Approximately 90,000 people work in our industry. The reason why I'm making this, providing this information is that the best time to really plan for the future is when you are going up. Because sometimes if you start going down and you try to plan, it's a different approach. So we're in a very phenomenal position to start thinking about the future. And that's specifically what the master plan for the county is proposing to do. This is a plan that had received input for approximately 2,600 people from all over the county. Just to give you an idea, the plan that was made for LA, for Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles, specifically facing the Olympics in 2028, they had 2,400 people participating. We have 26, so we're expecting a phenomenal opportunity. This is happening right now. We are very close to the visioning workshop, which will happen on June 18 at the Convention Center. Please feel free to attend. We need your input, as well as everybody here. There are some recommendations, some ideas that we want to share with the community, not only the tourism, but as well the residents, and see what can we do. There are some very important questions that we need to address and answer. Do we need to double the size of our industry to consider us a successful destination? Can we duplicate some of the success models that we have in different cities and put it in cities that are not as successful as others? Will that be sustainable or not? What type of things we need to do in terms of the future? And this plan for the next 10, 20 years will pave the way, will provide that blueprint, most likely of success for us in this industry. The way we look at this is a little bit different. And maybe some of the people that is here today is part of this specific Vitality Wheel that came here for the first time as a visitor. They came here, they liked what they saw, they really liked the place, and they came back. And they said, you know what, this is the place I would like to raise my family. This is the place I would like to live. They came here, they started looking for a job. They bought a house, they got a job, and they invest. And this vitality wheel is what we're seeing, and this is a specific, the clear definition of the effective destination promotion. Not only marketing dollars, but destination promotion, that it's creating what we call in this destination statement. 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago, we've been a phenomenal tourist destination. We became this very powerful travel brand. And now we are this phenomenal hub in which the economy, lifestyle, social, finance, healthcare, you name it, it's booming. And we're not saying tourism is responsible for that, but maybe that first visit is part of what we're seeing across the country today. And it's really important because everything that is happening here, those $10.5 billion in economic impact, is shaping and reshaping the quality of life and quality of place of all of us here in the Palm Beach County, specifically helping visitors and residents to coexist in our 39 different experiences that we have as 39 cities in our county. At the end of the day, we provide this sense of balance, very unique. Not many destinations can do that. And we're making sure that we promote effectively in a very transparent way, and making sure that cities like this one, Palm Beach Gardens, receive their fair share. So thank you so much. And if there's any question now or at any time, we're here to serve. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions?
I don't have a question. I just want to thank you both, all of you, so much for everything you're doing up in Tallahassee right now. Our local voices matter, and you are up there working really hard to keep our economy going. And it is under scrutiny with the Senate and the House right now. Do you want to give us a little update?
Absolutely. Thank you. The thing is this, the House proposed language in which we'll take all the taxes generated in the state of Florida to offset the cost of the property taxes. Just to give you an idea, in our county, if we take all the taxes that we collect and we use it to offset, the net effect is that there is a savings of $8.50 per month, in every $102 a year, versus $1 that we invest, $109 that we get back in economic impact for the county. And not only that, the total taxes collected in the state of Florida because of tourists represent $1,900 in savings to every household in the state in tax savings. So disrupting the current model is the wrong approach. We commend our elected officials to look for opportunities to really enhance the quality of place and quality of life of all of us. Who doesn't like to lower the property taxes? What we're saying is that they have selected the wrong asset to do that. The return that they're expecting will not be accomplished by disturbing and honestly eliminating the destination promotional model of the state of Florida, which is, as we speak, the #1 travel destination in our nation. So hopefully it's not going to happen, but if it does, it will bring significant challenges to all of our economy in the state of, in our county. Thank you for the question.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Pleasure.
your time
Thank you.
and coming here. Next, we have our last presentation is the Community Development Block Grant Program Update and Workforce Housing Fund Program Update presented by our Director of Planning and Zoning, Natalie Crowley. Oh, maybe not.
Okay, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and respected council members. My name is Joanne Scaria. I'm the Assistant Director of Planning and Zoning. I'm joined this evening with Olivia Ellison, who is the Development Compliance and Zoning Manager, and my Director, Natalie Crowley, Director of Planning and Zoning. And I'd like to provide a brief update on our Community Development Block Grant Program, and then Olivia, I will tag her to provide an update on our Workforce Housing Program. Okay, so I'll start with the U.S. HUD Community Development Block Grant Program. and specifically our single-family home rehabilitation program. So in 2015, we became eligible as a city to directly contract with HUD as a grantee. And we didn't really know exactly what that meant, but we entered into a relationship with them, and it's been quite a journey for the past 10 years. The first strategy that we identified is to harden the existing housing stock for low to moderate income households. It was a simple goal. And the way to accomplish that was to replace roofs, windows, doors, sliding glass doors, and some accessory paint and landscaping to beautify the neighborhoods. We developed the program and advertised it in the Post, social media, the city website, and the Signature City magazine. And what's on the slide before you is the result. We were able to take home by home and improve these homes by replacing their windows, replacing their doors, replacing their roofs, and hardening their home. And this provided numerous benefits for the residents. They were able to stay in their homes when repairs became too costly for them. Many of our applicants were retired residents who were on a fixed income, and they were able to maintain their home. Many people had paid off their mortgages, but they couldn't make those big ticket improvements. And so you see improvements like this home that received paint and windows and roof. But I'm gonna actually take a moment to share my favorite map series, and these maps were developed by our city GIS department. And this may seem familiar to you. I show this map every year as we get more applications and approve more applications and do more construction. And I'd like to share some numbers from CDBG. So we've been in this program for 10 years now, and it's done. We've completed our last home. We received 47 applications. We replaced 23 roofs. We did improvements in 7 unique neighborhoods, including Plat 1, Plat 3, and Palm Beach Square was our most popular neighborhood. We improved 32 homes, and of those 32 homes, the loans that we issued, 17 have been forgiven and more to come. And this is my favorite stat. We've been able to distribute close to $1 million to city residents, hardworking people that have, are in our community and are, just low to moderate income households that own their home but just can't make those big ticket improvements. And they've been able to save on insurance and just have a safer situation at home. And that's a summary of the Community Development Block Grant Program. And I'd like to take a quick moment to highlight the other program that we just completed on Mary Circle and Dania Drive. These neighborhoods were annexed in 1999 and 2002, and they were existing with well water and septic systems. And so there are 46 homes on Mary Circle and 32 duplex units on 16 parcels. That's how they were existing. And the Mary Circle right-of-way was actually owned by Palm Beach County, and Dania Drive had no formal legal right-of-way existing. So that was the existing situation when we started in 2020. So the goal here was to provide clean, potable water to the residents. So after the consolidated plan was approved by the City Council in 2020, we entered into planning mode. We did the environmental review that was required by US HUD, the NEPA review, surveying and design. Construction began in winter of 2024 and was completed that same year in August for Dania Drive and September for Mary Circle. In this process, we were also able to acquire the right-of-way from Mary Circle from Palm Beach County, which was not very easy, but we were able to achieve that. And on Dania Drive, we were able to work with the residents for them to dedicate right-of-ways so that we have a formal legal right-of-way on that street right now. So that's another major accomplishment through this project. In addition to the waterline component, SUA was able to tack on to the momentum of the waterline improvement and introduce a sewer component project to Dania Drive. So those residents also now have access to city sewer. And it is estimated that 8 duplex units and 11 homes are currently connected to the new waterline, with more to come. And I'll share some photos here of the construction project. And I have to give a big thank you to Todd and Giles from our engineering department, who really facilitated the actual day-to-day of the project. And last but not least, now that these two projects are complete, we are preparing our 2025 five-year consolidated plan. So we are working with our consultant, Florida Housing Coalition, to develop this next five-year plan. And we have some upcoming community input meetings. And so the dates and times are on the screen right here. We encourage participation by all of our residents and community stakeholders. And the advertisement was also published in the Palm Beach Post, and we welcome input for these meetings. And then I will turn it over to Olivia.
Good evening. My name is Olivia Ellison with the Planning and Zoning Department, and I will be presenting an overview and update on the Workforce Housing Fund programs. With contribution from the developers of Avenir and Arcadia Gardens, the Workforce Housing Fund is funded with $5.55 million. In November 2020, City Council approved the Workforce Housing Program, identifying the fund as a priority. April 2022, the city conducted an employee housing needs survey, and the results of that survey showed that some employees are burdened with housing costs. In October 2023, City Council adopted Resolution 61, 2023, approving the implementation of the Workforce Housing Fund and the 4 associated programs. On the screen, you will see a breakdown of the $5.55 million. $3 million allocated for the citywide multifamily home improvement program, $1 million for the citywide single-family home improvement program, $1 million for the employee purchase assistance, $400,000 for the employee rent assistance, and we have also allocated or set aside $150,000 for administrative costs. The employee rent assistance program is available to full-time employees that have completed 60 days of employment. Also, their household is required to meet income criteria. Each round of available assistance is 12 months, and the amount of assistance is up to $600 a month, depending on where they live. This assistance can also help with moving costs. We have established formal policies and procedures for this program that were coordinated internally with several departments. 2 rounds of assistance have launched, and currently 23 employees are receiving assistance. $128,400 of that $400,000 budget is accounted for. The Single-Family Home Improvement Program has the same intention as the CDBG program. However, we now capture a higher income level at that workforce housing level. It is available as single-family homes, attached and detached, with a maximum award of $40,000. The households are required to demonstrate that they meet income criteria, and we have also established a pool of contractors that will issue requests for quotations for the homes as they become qualified. Assistance will be issued as a 0% interest deferred loan that may be forgiven after 5 years. Formal policies and procedures has also been established for this program. We launched this program on March 10th, and we have received 14 applications, and they are currently under review. We have been working with our communications department to get the word out. We have included an ad in the latest issue of Signature City. We also have an ad in our The Pinnacle, which is our news flash, and we have issued targeted ads on social media. We are still working on the development of the multifamily improvement program and the employee purchase programs. However, we do plan on launching these programs in late 2025 and early 2026. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Olivia and/or Joanne? Anybody?
No, congratulations, guys. I mean, I think what you're putting into this is amazing and, value added to our city and residents. And thank you for doing what you're doing and moving it forward. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Chelsea?
Are there any other communities that are looking at what we did as a model? Because it seems like it was so successful. Or how is that put through so that other people can do something similar? It seems like this comes up more and more.
Yes, through the Community Development Block Grant Program and other housing agencies locally, we're connected to other cities, Jupiter, Boca, and we're always sharing ideas. And we've had many conversations with both government side and also the private sector on our workforce housing fund programs as well. So we're able to share the best practices that we've been able to accomplish so far and also learn from them.
Thank you so much for all this work. I know it's been almost a decade, so thank you both.
Thank you, guys. I mean, the numbers that you shared with us are astounding. And I mean, just the environmental aspect as well, eliminating water and sewer and septic and drain fields is such a benefit for not just the residents, but the environment as well. So thank you very much for sharing this information.
Pleasure, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next is comments from the public, and I do not have any comments from the public for items that are not on the agenda. So we'll go to the city manager report. Ron, do you have a report?
No report. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Next, we have the consent agenda. Does anybody want to pull anything from the consent agenda?
Can I just, I don't really want to pull anything. I just want to bring some acknowledgement to some of the things on there.
Okay.
If you don't mind. But, this month, there's a lot of proclamations on there, and they're all very good proclamations, but I noticed a lot of our employees for the city get recognition this month, so just figured as a council member, maybe the council, to give them some recognition. There's 5 of them. It's a Code Enforcement Officer Week, Emergency Medical Services Week through the Fire Department, National Police Week, National Public Works Week, and then, of course, we have Municipal Clerk Week with Miss Patty, who always is here to help us for everything. She's been helping me a lot, so I wanted to make sure I gave her a shout-out. So that's all I had to say.
That's absolutely awesome, and you're 100% right to do so. We have amazing staff, and I appreciate the fact that you acknowledged everybody. Anybody else want to pull anything from the, okay. So since no one's pulling anything from the agenda, then clerk, could you read the title?
I'll make a motion to move consent agenda with the comments noted by Councilman Kemp.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second? We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes 5-0. Okay, now tonight we are holding quasi-judicial hearings on the following cases: Ordinance 5, 2025, first reading, Colony Plaza rezoning. This means that the City Council is required by law to base its decision on the evidence contained in the record of this proceeding, which consists of the testimony at the hearing, the materials which are in the official city file on the application, and any documents presented during this hearing. The council is also required by law to allow cross-examination of any witnesses who testify tonight. Cross-examination may occur after the staff, the applicant, and other participants have made their presentations and will be permitted in the order of the witness appearance. It is necessary that anyone who testifies at the hearing remain until the conclusion of the hearing in order to be able to respond to any questions. If you plan to testify this evening or wish to offer written comments, please fill out a card and give it to the city clerk. The city clerk will now swear in all persons who intend to offer testimony this evening on any of these cases.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Thank you, Patty. We're going to start with Ordinance 3, 2025. Would the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 3, 2025, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, approving and adopting the citywide mobility plan and citywide mobility fee technical report, consistent with the provisions of Section 163.3180 et sequentes Florida statutes. Concurrency, specifically subsection 5I, with regard to transportation concurrency, providing a conflicts clause, a severability clause, and authority to codify, providing an effective date for other purposes.
Thank you. I'm going to open the public hearing. And has anything changed since the first reading?
There have been no changes.
Okay. Does anybody need a presentation? No presentations? Okay. And I do have some comment cards on this. I have George Perez. If you would please come up and state your name and address for the record, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Jorge Perez. I'm a senior planner with the Palm Beach County Planning Division, 2300 North Jog, West Palm Beach 33411. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on this item. Palm Beach County previously submitted an objection letter to the City of Palm Beach Gardens for Ordinance 3 and Ordinance 4. I have an additional hard copy of the letter that I would like to submit for the record. County staff has reviewed the proposed ordinances related to Palm Beach Gardens' local mobility plan and fee. These provisions are in furtherance of the city's attempts to repeal the county's transportation concurrency, proportionate share, and road impact fees. The county reiterates its previous objection to any and all provisions which attempt to eliminate any of these important funding sources for the county's transportation network. Our objection is based upon the fact that there is ongoing litigation regarding this issue after the 15th Judicial Circuit Court has determined and the 4th District Court of Appeals has affirmed that the county is likely to prevail on the merits and ordered the city to pay the county's outstanding impact fees. More importantly, it is the county position that with the court's current injunction in place prohibits the city from proceeding with this proposed action. The court's preliminary ruling reaffirms our position that the county's traffic performance standards and impact fee regulations are applicable in every city, including the city of Palm Beach Gardens. Moreover, any attempt by the city to repeal and replace the county's road impact fees directly contradicts Section 1633180 of the Florida statutes, which provides that the city and county must create and execute an interlocal agreement to coordinate the mitigation of our respective impacts. In the near future, the county will be providing a draft interlocal agreement in accordance with the law. Furthermore, and very importantly, in light of the development of the countywide transportation master plan, in which the county is seeking coordination with all municipalities, including the gardens, approval of these ordinances is premature at this time. Therefore, we request that you deny this ordinance or postpone consideration to a future date to allow adequate time for the development of the countywide transportation master plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that was the only card that I have on this item. I'm going to close the public hearing and ask that we call a vote and bring for discussion.
I'll make a motion to approve Ordinance 3, 2025, second reading and adoption.
I will second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Motion carries 5-0. Now we're going to move on to Ordinance 4, 2025. The clerk, please read the title.
Ordinance 4, 2025, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, amending Chapter 78 Land Development at Article 3, Development Review Procedures by repealing Division 4, citywide impact fees and mobility fees, and readopting same as revised. In order to revise the city's impact fee and mobility fee schedule in accordance with the most recent localized data for mobility, providing for the declaring the finding of extraordinary circumstances that necessitate the adoption of the updated mobility fees at the fully calculated rate as of the effective date of this ordinance, providing a conflicts clause, a severability clause, and authority to codify, providing an effective date for the purposes.
Thank you, Patty. I'm going to open the public hearing and ask if there has been any changes since the last hearing.
Madam Mayor, there have been no changes.
Changes? Does anybody want to see the presentation again? Anybody? Nope. Okay. I do have a comment card also. Mr. Jorge, I apologize for saying your name incorrectly the last time. Mr. Jorge Perez, if you'd like to come up and speak. And again, state your name and address if you don't mind.
If I might, I believe you intend to read the letter again?
Yes, I could have just.
We're more than happy to incorporate your previous comments into this hearing, and you can certainly give the hard copy to the clerk, unless you'd prefer to read it.
No, I would just like to enter the same comments into the records. That works with us.
They are so incorporated.
Thank you.
Thank you, Max. Thank you, Mr. Perez. And that was the only card that I have on the item, so I'm going to close the public hearing and bring it back for a vote.
I'd like to make a motion to pass Ordinance 4, 2025.
Thank you. We have a motion?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Thank you. Motion passes 5-0. Okay, now we're going to be moving on to Ordinance 5, 2025. Would the clerk please read the title?
Ordinance 5, 2025, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, rezoning certain real property comprised of 1.98 acres more or less, known collectively as Colony Plaza, 4265 North Lake Boulevard, and Celadina's offices, and located on the north side of North Lake Boulevard, approximately 0.22 miles east of the intersection of North Lake Boulevard and Military Trail, providing that these parcels of real property, which are more particularly described herein, shall be rezoned from general commercial CG1 to a planned unit development PUD overlay with an underlining zoning designation of general commercial CG1, providing that the zoning map of the City of Palm Beach Gardens be amended accordingly, providing a conflicts clause, a severability clause, and authority to codify, providing an effective date and for other purposes.
Thank you, Patty. I'm going to open the public hearing and ask for any ex partes.
None.
None.
None from me.
Okay, I have none either. And hello.
Well, thank you, Mayor and council members. For the record, Zach Cicero with Cutler and Hearing in Jupiter. I have been sworn in. I'm here on behalf of the owner and applicant, Ray Saladinas. We also do have our project team in attendance tonight, starting with Nicole Plunkett, a partner with our firm in Cutler and Hearing. We do have Juan Carlos Ortiz, the landscape designer and irrigation designer for the project, and we also have Joe Thomas from Burrs Thomas Architects, a local architecture firm here in Palm Beach Gardens. So if I may start off, we are here tonight to request approval of a PUD overlay incorporating 3 parcels on North Lake Boulevard under common ownership. And the subject site is located on the north side of North Lake Boulevard, directly next to the Advanced Auto Part store, and is just west of I-95. And this request is really to provide a flexible solution to effectively redevelop and enhance this site. There's a lot of limitations with redevelopment on these older sites along this North Lake Boulevard corridor. It's a very small site, only 0.18 acres. And this site, this building actually in particular, received administrative approval in 2023 to renovate and improve the building facade. Ultimately, that was never constructed because now the owner wishes to demolish the building entirely and build new for a more sustainable building for the future. And this can only be achieved by incorporating the adjacent properties into the proposed PUD overlay, which provides the necessary flexibility for redevelopment through a unity of control document. And in comparison with the existing site plan, what we did, we started out by shifting the building north by 10 feet, and this allowed us to significantly enhance the landscape area. So we were able to add a landscape island, increase the landscape island width along North Lake Boulevard, bringing it up to that code compliant 6 feet of width. Also increase the walkway width for accessibility requirements. We were able to add an ADA parking stall, which does not exist today, and add double striping in the parking lot. And as you can see, the current building is significantly outdated. It's a huge upgrade from what is there today. The architecture designed by Burrs Thomas, as I mentioned, was inspired by South Florida coastal architecture. A variety of different modern features were utilized here, such as tall storefront windows and covered entry, with an array of different materials such as composite wood siding, black accent metals, and a neutral color palette. And of course, most importantly, this is compliant with not only the overlay code, but will be compliant with the Florida Building Code and accessibility requirements as well. And just a glimpse at the elevation, you can see on the bottom of your screen, the side elevation. We added windows on all sides of the building to address a previous security concern by the police department during the review process. The current building does not have any visibility aside from the parking lot, so this addresses that concern. And then to facilitate this request, we are asking for 2 very minimal, non-impactful waivers, one to the rear setback and one to the throat distance for off of North Lake Boulevard, which is just a common theme, as you will see throughout a lot of these older sites along North Lake Boulevard. So with that, I appreciate all your feedback. We're, of course, here to answer any questions. We have our whole team here, as I mentioned, and I will defer to staff from here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have a staff presentation?
Good evening, Reva Pierce, project manager. For the record, I have been sworn in. I did want to just note that this reduction in any residential units, it is adjacent to the North Mill property and near a lake as well. Staff does recommend approval.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, I do not have any comment cards on this, so I will close the public hearing and bring it back for a motion to approve Ordinance 5, 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve Ordinance 5, 2025, first reading.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
No, I just want to thank Ray Saladinas, his family, and him, and he has a long history in this city, going back a number of years, and obviously the insurance agency is very well known. And I just thank him for staying engaged in the city, for improving some of these buildings along the corridor that need a little TLC. Obviously, the iFixture, I used to go there all the time to fix the phones as they fell off the couch and broke, so I'm going to kind of miss that store. But Ray's engagement with the city and other projects too, we just tell him thank you for his continued involvement in making a difference in our city.
I absolutely will. Thank you.
Anybody else have any comments? No, this is an excellent redevelopment project. I appreciate it very much, and what a difference it looks from the building that's there. And I hope this becomes trend-setting for the adjacent buildings on either side. So thank you for bringing it to our city. Calling that, let's call for a vote. We had a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you all so much.
Okay, next we have Resolution 32, 2025. Would the clerk please read the title?
Resolution 32, 2025, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, approving the Coconut Boulevard Extension Funding Agreement with Avenir Development, LLC, providing an effective date and for other purposes.
Thank you. We have a presentation from Mr. Engel.
Good evening, Council. Todd Engel, City Engineer, presenting Resolution 32, 2025, which is a funding agreement between the Avenir Development Company and the City of Palm Beach Gardens for the two-lane expansion of Coconut Boulevard. As you know, Avenir was required to build North Lake Boulevard, or Coconut Boulevard, from North Lake Boulevard all the way up to the Beeline Highway. Currently, it exists from North Lake to its terminus at the preserve area. This project will turn that project from 2 lanes to a 4-lane divided highway. $1.3 million is the cost. Will be paid as the construction goes forward. That's it. Any questions?
That was, I think, one of your quickest
We were said to go quick here.
presentations that you've had. Very good. Does anybody else have any questions
No,
for
just to
Mr. Engel?
clarify, Avenir was required to build 2 lanes. And it was eventually designed to add 2 more lanes as traffic increased. Given today's cost, it was determined that it would be in the city's best interest to go ahead and spend today's dollars, to go ahead and send for the city's responsibility to build the other 2 lanes. This is probably the best time and the least amount of money we would ever spend to do that. And we look forward to being able to start this construction as soon as we can get everything in line with the bond at Avenir CDD is preparing, excuse me.
Thank you, Ron. Well, I don't have any comment cards on this item, so I'm going to close the public hearing and bring it back for a vote to approve Resolution 32, 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 32, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I think it's a great fiscally responsible thing to do. So, and I know that everyone wants to help with relieve the traffic, so the sooner the better. So I think this will be a real help to the community and the residents. So thank you.
Councilmember Kemp?
Yeah, living out west for 20 years, this has been long overdue just for anything out there. So I'm definitely a big fan of this plan, and I think it was a fiscally responsible thing to do it now as opposed to coming down the road with increasing costs and having to restart and then jam up traffic with another construction zone. So doing it now, I think it's really forward thinking. I'm really proud of this plan, and it's also going to increase some accessibility to the business center in Avenir from the northern side of Calusa, being able to come down there for dinner and shopping and some other things. So I think it's going to benefit the Avenir community as well. And if anybody was on that road from 10 o'clock this morning till 2 p.m. today, or anytime Tuesday when there was 4 different accidents and a hazmat incident, you know that this is definitely something that's needed now and as soon as possible. So I'm definitely in favor of this.
I was on that road today coming back. We actually turned around and went back to a restaurant and came back, and still took us 26 minutes just to get through that stretch of North Lake.
I had to be here in the area by City Hall at about 11:30, and it took me an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Anybody else have any comments to make? No.
I think the folks from the western end, I think, are definitely the ones that should be speaking, so thank you both.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%, and I just want to say kudos to staff and Landstar for making this happen, because, you know, obviously traffic is number one on everyone's mind, and we've heard about this for a long time, and expediting the construction to 4 lanes from Coconut to Beeline is extremely forward-thinking. As Ron pointed out, it's a major cost savings, and definitely will be a great reliever for the intersection of North Lake and Beeline, which will be under construction for so long. So I'm hopeful that the county will at least begin the 4-laning and 6-laning of their sections that they have the funding for North Lake Boulevard, which has only been, 9 years? But I hope that happens before it becomes cost prohibitive. So thank you very much for bringing this. And with that said, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Okay, next we have Resolution 34, 2025. Would the clerk please read the title?
Resolution 34, 2025, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, establishing the protocol and orderly seating arrangements for all council meetings, providing an effective date for other purposes.
Thank you. And I don't have any comment cards on this, and that, do we have a presentation? I don't think we need one. It's pretty self-explanatory. And I don't have any cards, so can I have a motion and/or a second to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 34, 2025.
And no second? Okay, I guess the motion dies.
I'll second, but can I add something to the motion?
Sure.
I just think that it's a great thing. I like having a mayor in the middle to talk to, but I think moving forward at the reorg meeting in April, it'd be good to also, every council to decide how they'd like the seating to be moving forward every year and after the reorg of the council board, to then kind of say where we want the mayor or vice mayor. You know, the mayor might want to sit next to the town attorney to get some legal, or they might want him in the center or just in the center of the room. So I think at every April reorg meeting, it should be the seating decided by the council.
Okay, so this one has it specifically said, so if it dies, then if we just let it die, then that could be the case, because we can make that happen,
Okay.
right? Okay. So then, are you going to change your vote then to
Are you withdrawing your second?
withdraw your second?
Withdraw my second.
Okay, perfect. Okay, motion dies. I guess that's it. So I guess, do we need to call it, Max? If it didn't have a,
Well, you have
A second.
You had a motion, you had a
But no
motion to
second.
approve it, and it did not pass, or it didn't get a second, so it would be appropriate to have a motion to deny the resolution.
okay, so someone needs to make a motion to deny.
I'll make a motion to deny Resolution 34, 2025.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries 5-0. Okay, items for council action discussion?
If anyone else? No? Seeing as the elections have come and gone and reorg has come and gone, it seems like it would be a good time to ask council how we feel about the consideration of a skateboard park elsewhere in the city, or any outreach about that. It's something that personally I brought up to the city manager during the process. But here we are today, and just wanted to sort of see if there was an appetite from council or anything happening at the city manager level or otherwise that could educate us as to the opportunities there. If it is something that there is even an appetite for from our residents.
Anybody want to comment on that?
No, I think when we had the original discussion on the ice rink, I think in my comments, I had mentioned that if the city manager, after the Burns Road and some of the other projects were complete, as they went into the budget over the summer with finding funding or potentially a new location, he can look at that time and get back to us with any information, if it was possible, to put it off Burns Road or some area within the central part of the city. I'll leave that to the city manager to make that decision come this summer after the budget numbers come out. We look at expenses and project costs for other things and see if it's feasible. That's the way I left it. That's totally up to him. Ron's pretty active on a lot of these things, and if we can pursue it, I'm sure he'll find a way. If not, he'll let us know that as well after he reviews everything over the summer.
Councilmember Kemp?
Yeah, I agree with both of those. I'd like to see if we could do some research on relocating it and bringing it back to the community. That was a big contention, and I think it was a great part of the city. So if the city manager can look into that, that'd be great also.
Councilmember Middleton, sorry.
Yeah, I would like, I would recommend maybe seeing what the community wants. I think we are not going to move forward, can't move forward with anything without getting input from the residents, so directly. Because I think we only talked to a very small part of our resident pool.
Yeah, and I do have to say, there was the two items, that and then also basketball. The basketball, I know, is also used, but, thank you. But I know that in discussion, it's my understanding that, I know, every 3 years we do a resident opinion survey, and this summer it's due to do it again. So that could be a question that could be asked on our resident opinion survey, which I think that idea has been bounced around. So maybe that's a way to get the residents to a better idea or a pulse on if that's something that's wanted, and along with other maybe amenities besides pickleball, because we already have a lot of pickleball. But that would be something that we can potentially discuss about adding. Is that something, Ron, is that something that we can do for the poll, the opinion survey, I should say?
Yes, it's part of the opinion survey as far as prioritization of facilities and things that residents would like to see.
Okay, so that's like one of the questions then. Perfect. Is that
We
good?
will address the issue.
Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate that.
We knew you would. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have any comments?
Yeah, I've just got two things. So I want to thank you for mentioning Tim Frawling. Tim's been very active in the city with the Buckley Foundation, the Buckley family for, a quarter of a century, probably at least. So we're going to miss his smile and his kind of corny jokes. They're having a celebration of life for him in June. But he was a great advocate for the softball programs in our city and for the high school and obviously for the Buckley Foundation, and took that over when Tori passed away, unfortunately. So he's in our thoughts and our prayers, his family, pretty much so. So thank you for mentioning that. And then also, Councilman Kemp and I went to the Historical Society open house on Sunday. So I just want to thank Candace for putting that on our website. It had a good response, a lot of people there. People actually brought items to contribute to the society from the 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever they were looking for, which was pretty cool. They had the old Garden Lanes bowling alley sign outside the Historical Society. Unbelievable. Somebody bought it, I think, off a website where it was being advertised and sold and donated to the society. So I want to thank them for that. Thank Candace for that. And also a couple of former mayors showed up. So it was kind of interesting to hear their stories as well. But thanks, Candace and the team, for putting that on there. I appreciate it.
Anybody else have any items? Councilmember Kemp?
I just wanted to bring up, I've been pretty lucky being a new councilman, and I've had some chances by the deputy city managers to give me some tours of the facilities, and they're quite amazing. I did the logistics tour and Public Works with Steve the other day, and one thing I can say is all of the staff and employees seem very happy, and one of the things is you could have, when we went in to see the mechanics bay, I would have felt safe eating off the floor. It's so clean because they take pride in their work, and I was very impressed by all of that. And then we toured with Fire Rescue and Station 6, and, you know, being a firefighter, you see a lot of fire stations, and that is definitely a cutting-edge fire station, and it's looking in the future with a lot of the things that could come back on a city with cancer and everything else. They've done amazing work with that, and it's pretty impressive what they've done out there, and got to talk to a lot of the new recruits this week also. They took me by the training facility. I'm pretty happy to see those sitting in there, and I think we got a really good batch of recruits coming through to serve our citizens. So it's pretty impressed with all of our tours, and I thank them.
Awesome. Councilmember Middleton? No? Okay, good. I also wanted to thank staff for two of the events that occurred just recently, which was the Golden Egg Hunt. What an amazing, I can't believe the outcome of people. I think there was over, 6,000 people that attended, maybe more. It seemed like more anyway. And the fact that there were so many people, so many children there, everyone had a fabulous time, but staff thought of everything. There was not one stone left unturned. Even if a little one was not able to collect an egg, they had little surprise hidden little care bags, because just in case that those little kids wouldn't feel left behind, and they thought of everything. So I just want to say that was just awesome. Thank you guys for putting that together. No kid was lost, which was shocking, and everybody was safe, and it was great. They did such a good job with all those kids. I can't believe it. Anyway, they did a wonderful job. And then the other one was the senior picnic. That was also amazing. And there were so many people there that just loved that event. And again, it was really spectacular. So thank you guys for putting that on. Great job. And it was well attended, and everyone had an amazing time. So thank you for doing that. And that was it. Do we have a city attorney report? No? Okay. I guess meeting's adjourned. Thank you.